All right. Good morning and welcome to 5 Minutes or More with Pastor. It is Friday, July 24th, 2020. And it is an overcast morning, but I've heard this weekend's going to be pretty warm. So, a couple days of warm days coming up, but I hope we can find some cool air condition or cool somewhere and escape that for a little bit. But it is Friday, so you've made it to the end for most people. Not everybody understand, but even if you haven't made it to the end of the work week, you made it close to the end of the work week. So keep going. Good job. This morning is Psalm 74, and thought I was there. I'm not. Psalm 74, and I just want to read verse 2. Verse 2 says this. It says, "Remember thy congregation which thou hast purchased of old, the rod of thine inheritance which thou hast redeemed, this Mount Zion wherein thou hast dwelt." There are many people that believe that Asaph wrote this psalm concerning Nebuchadnezzar's destruction of the Jewish temple in 586 BC. It's part of the Babylonian captivity. And notice what the writer says. He says, "Remember thy congregation, which thou hast purchased of old, the rod of thine inheritance, which thou hast redeemed, this Mount Zion, wherein thou hast dwelt." He says, the writer makes it sound like it's not there anymore, like it used to be. And he's asking God to remember them. What an interesting request for God to remember something, because God is all knowing. And I began to think about this, and there are many people that even wrestle with this idea, but it doesn't, as we read through the Bible, it doesn't appear that God forgets anything unless he chooses to forget. Which I know that sounds like a really strange concept, but there's one thing that the Bible clearly seems to indicate that God will forget. In Psalm 103 in verse 12, it says, "As far as the east is from the west, so far hath he removed our transgressions from us." In Hebrews chapter 8 and verse 12, it says this, "For I will be merciful to their unrighteousness, and their sins and their iniquities will I remember no more." Now, what an awesome thing to think that God, in his love, when Jesus Christ died for us, that when he shed his blood for us and he cleansed us from our sin, that he removed them as far as the east is from the west. He says, "I'm not going to remember them anymore." I don't know about you, but we're really good at playing this game whenever we want to get back at somebody, of bringing up their past transgressions and throwing them back in their face as ammunition. And God says, when you accept me as Savior and you're my child, I don't do that anymore. The story's told about some of the very first missionaries that went to Alberta, Canada, and they were greatly opposed by some of the Cree Indians that were up there. And one of the first people to actually trust the Lord was a chief by the name of Maskamaton. And it was told that one of the Blackfoot Indians later on in his life came and killed the father of Maskamaton. And obviously, the way that would usually be handled is that he would go and take that man's life, or take the life of somebody that man loved. But the Bible, not the Bible, history tells us that he rode into the Blackfoot tribe there, and he sought out the man that killed his father and made them bring him out to him. And this is how he confronted the guilty man. He says, "You have killed my father. So now," usually you would think he'd say, "So now you must die." No, no. He says, "You've killed my father. So now you must be my father. You shall ride my best horse and wear my best clothes." The story goes on and says, in utter amazement and remorse, his enemy proclaimed these words, "My son, now you have killed me." He meant, of course, that the hate of his own heart had been completely erased by the forgiveness and kindness of the chief. It sounds like an impossible story, but we have experienced the forgiveness of God. We have. I have wronged God in so many different ways, but He's removed my transgressions as far as the east is from the west. He remembers my transgressions no more. And first of all, that's something that we each should be just unbelievably thankful for. But secondly, that should be something that we want to emulate in our relationships as well, to be forgiven and to show that same kindness that God has showed to us. I hope I do that. I pray that you will as well. Um, and hope you have a good rest of today. Hope you have a good weekend, and look forward to some of the things that are going to be going on and enjoying. To me, although everything that's been going on has seemed to slow time down, to me, summer has seemed to go by quickly. And so we have about a month of it left, at least according to like kids' school calendars. But who knows about that anymore? but um, but I hope you enjoy the summer months and this weekend as well. So we'll talk to you guys later.